Morning, everyone. Thank you. How are you feeling?
Great.
This is the best looking audience I've ever seen. But I'm here to tell you about future reality. You've heard about artificial reality and virtual reality. I'm here to tell you about a system called future reality. But before I go there, as you can tell, my Australian accent needs some work, and I didn't get this tan on Bondi Beach. But I moved here. My name is Shiju Thomas, and I moved here from India about 10 years ago. And I work in technology, e-commerce consulting, and I've been a leadership coach, and I've done a few other things. And my passion is for people to experience total freedom. And I want to ask you, have you ever felt that learning and knowing more and doing more courses hasn't really worked? That it doesn't get you to your goals, it doesn't get you where you want to be? Have you ever felt that?
Yes.
I want to assert that what stands in the way between you and your goals is actually not more knowledge and more learning, it's actually what you believe about what you can do and what you believe about who you are. And a large part of what you believe is not about your conscious beliefs. Conscious beliefs are formed by practice, doing, and so you believe that you can drive a car because you learned to drive a car, you drove a car a few times, and then you believe you can drive a car. Unconscious beliefs are formed in an instant by certain events in your childhood, and they are unconscious, you don't know you formed them, but they limit the extent to which you are able to achieve in life. I'll give you an example. So this is maybe not that long ago, but when I was 5 years old, I was in kindergarten or school, and back home in India. And I came home with this report card, and I had come fourth in class, and I told my parents. I was pretty excited. I thought fourth was pretty good, and I showed my parents, and they said, fourth is good, but you should be in the top 3. So I said, fine. I went back. I don't remember whether I did any studies or not, but next report card, I came second. And I can still remember running home. I was really excited. I ran home on a Saturday afternoon, ran into my father's bedroom, and I said, Dad, see, I came second. Now my father was sleeping, as Saturday afternoon, most fathers are doing that. And he woke up, he rolled over, he looked at me and said, and then he went back to sleep. And in that moment, I was devastated, because I felt that what I do isn't enough, and I felt that I'm not good enough. Take myself out of that situation and forward the next 15, 20 years, I never had a report card that was good enough to take home. And I lived my life from whatever I do is not good enough, and what I can provide is not good enough. Now, fast forward a few more years, I did some training and development, and I actually had this realization that what happened in that moment was actually my dad was asleep. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough, but I had collapsed what happened with what I interpreted, my interpretation of that event. And my interpretation of that event was a 5-year-old's interpretation. When I grew older, I didn't take the 5-year-old's interpretation out and put in a 15-year-old or 25-year-old interpretation. And so when I was able to this 5-year-old's interpretation and what actually happened, I had this realization that actually what happened was my dad was really asleep. It's not that I'm not good enough. It's not that what I have to give isn't good enough, that actually I can contribute and I can make a difference. When I had that realization, I was able to create. I led a startup. I became effective in transforming businesses, generating large amounts of revenue. I became a leadership coach, and I was able to fulfill my dream, which was always to be someone who makes a difference to others. And I was able to live a life from an objective and a dream of what I wanted to create, and that is what future reality is about. How does it work? How future reality works is it's a 3-step process. You can talk to me later about more details, but how it works is we take who you want to be, what you want to achieve, and we create a program which guides you on a step-by-step process of how to get to where you want to be, looking from the future backwards. And of course, one thing, when I realized what happened with my dad, for the first time in my life, I called my dad and I said, you know what, I love you. And I'd never said that before. And that's what's possible from future reality. Thank you.